Hey, Dave Knight here. Dave Knight Trading. Trade crazy. Trade crazy. Trade craze. Trade crazy. All right. So I don't know if I removed. Yeah, I was thinking early today. I had set up yesterday, right? We had this um, Fibonacci retracements, high to low. This was the extension from yesterday. This was the low of swing low at 1117 roughly. It broke through that today. What's the number there? 22,920. We went down to 22,901. So I made a little money, and let's see here. Let me open up the edit your stream and title. So I made a little money, and I don't want that. What I want is where is it? OBS settings. There we go. And then I say hello here. How are you? And that, and then we want to make sure that's pause as live. YouTube Studio. Okay. Hello here. How are you? 5-minute chart finally showed move off a green bar. This was all red for a while, and then we had a green bar that came in at where's my, need to minimize that window. So our first green bar in the market after the open, well, there was a little one, doji bar, at 9:40, but then the first legitimate green bar came in at 10:10 a.m. And then we've had at 10:30 we had a hammer bar form. We had a little sell off from 10:25 to 4:10:30. I was losing. I was able to get back, made some money on this up move. Excuse me. I missed that down move because I was looking for an up move again. I lost here when it broke here. So I tried to get back in long right about here with these two green bars. And I lost there. And then forget what I did after that. I think I took some shorts underneath, but I was able to. I just not in tune with the market today on my EA account. I ended up getting a little bit above break even after being down. So I missed this up move, although it's showing pretty strong since the 10:30 mark. Let's just sucker go all the way back up again. So 22,900, and the last swing low 22,920. So it did go underneath that, and then the low of yesterday is 22,844. And I put this in S1 to PP. When it hit 50%, I think I took a little trade on there. made a little bit of money back. I did not take advantage of this short because my bias was long thinking, and that kind of caught me off guard. I thought we were going to run up today, and that's what happens when you think, right? When you trade, when you think, and not trade what you see. So look, here's a sell signal right here. Can I? Yeah, arrow bar. Hard to take a trade, arrow line. Hard to take a short trade above the pivot point when the market has been up. So obviously, in hindsight, it looks great, right? Going down all the way down here to the low and through the pivot. It was kind of helter-skelter right here, though. I thought this is where we were going to bottom out. There I go with saying thinking again, right? Here's where I thought we'd bottom out roughly in this area. And I took a long in that area thinking that we were going to head back up that way. And we're at this overall trend line. It held the trend line to start with. Roughly, right? It held this trend line. Even here it held it. We'd bounce off the 200 bar, which we didn't. And nothing really showed anything. And if you look at the 5-minute chart, the little blip at 9:40 5-minute chart, it was all red bars, candlesticks, until 10:10. So in actuality, I had no business taking any long side trades. Maybe one at the 9:40 mark, which I think I did end up taking. I think that's the mark, that trade that I ended up grabbing a hold of today. That's my sim trades from yesterday. What was that? I think I was in this area. Yeah, this is where I took a long setup right in here again. Right there with those 2 bars. Then I lost that one. And I had no business being long after that until a green bar formed on the charts, on the 5-minute chart, which didn't come until the 10:10 mark. And now we're heading right back to the pivot point. Go figure. Long signal here. That is a tough one. And then you have a long signal right here. So we had this long signal. You had been in it still on this move. You still would have stayed in it. There was a short signal right in here where it went down very quickly. This bar, you notice it says 10, 20, 43 seconds. 10, 20, and 50 seconds. So these 3 bars right here formed in 7 seconds. I don't know how you trade that. Some ones you just miss. And this one here, 10, 26, and 45 seconds. 10, 28, and 53 seconds. This gives you time to think about it and get involved in it. But in front of that, you had this red bar, right? So it's kind of helter-skelter. And I mean, I honestly, I don't know which way. I mean, my bias, if there is a bias, below pivot point, I'm thinking shorts. And above pivot point, I'm thinking longs. It's kind of, I use the pivot point to help make decisions. I mean, you gotta, for better or worse, you gotta have some kind of bias coming into the market. It's hard to trade both sides. At least historically, I find reversing trades can be a detriment to your account. You're thinking one way, and then the next thing you know, I mean, it's hard to be a scalper in the NQ. So what I've set up here, we'll just we'll wait. I guess we'll wait for the next signal to come in, and then we'll see if we get another red bar here. We'll attempt a short side trade. Notice I'm in the sim. I'm testing the whatever this is called, live stream. It says can't hear a word you're saying, need to boost your gain. It says my volume's working. Desktop audio, my mic says it's going. And then we ended up with another green bar on the range bars. So right now, this has been a long move from this bar right there. If we're looking at S1, let's look at the overall range for the day. This is the high of the day. That's the low of this trading session. So 50% pretty much puts us at the pivot point, which we'll see. Looking for two red bars to form here, and we'll go short. All right, formed another green. So we're setting up, basically, this is a neat little setup that I like a lot. It's called the GAN fourth time through.
Ring, ring, ring.
Ring, ring. Kid sending me something. So you got your bottom point, right? And then it tests. I guess we consider that. And it tests again. And it'll probably test another time. So this could be considered 1, 2, 3. Or this could be considered 1 and then 2. And we still could have one more test. The other side of this is it goes up a couple times, and then what it'll do, so you get the highs, right? So you have this high. This is the second high coming in right off of this. So first high to the low, first high, second high. Let me get rid of all this shit's on the drawing tools. So you have this kind of move. it'll do is it'll form, here's the first high. Say this is the second one right here. Usually what you'll get is another high like up here, maybe up here, and then so it sets up eventually a move that breaks down. So what I end up doing is I look for a mark that goes back to the low again. So your X marks the spot, ends up being right in this area right here. It's a lot easier to think when the market is moving in rhythm than when the market's moving quickly. Like for instance, this 3 bars that printed right in here. Let's see, where is... Alright, so I wrote, "Can you hear me?" It says that I have stream health. Stream health is excellent. Stream settings. So if you can hear me speaking. So we're looking for, basically looks like we're looking for that third high to come around the pivot point roughly. Third retracement high. You could type in the chat if you can hear me. I appreciate if there's anybody here. Noticed Nutty Bar wasn't streaming today, so I thought, well, I'll just add a stream.
Ring. Ring, ring.
Ring, ring, ring. What's going on here today? Tucker Carlson says, "High crimes, the Chinese mafia's takeover of rural America." I don't want to get involved with all that bullshit that's going on with the Epstein files. He had a nice little talk about it though. Things that he said he was going to release, not one of it has he done. RFK files, Epstein files, the rich protect the rich, correct? So I did come back from a loss today. My Apex account 192 that I'm in right now has Aqua Liquidate peak balance at 793 positive. I'm trading the 50,000 account, and my account balance right now is at 682. So I did make a new account high. Well, account balance. I'm $49.10 in profit. I've had too many trades though to get there. I need to be smarter. This almost looks like it's on the 30 range charts, but it's not. I've toyed with the 30 range, but it gives a lot of false signals. The 60 range gives better overall signals. What were we looking at before? The charts were. That's weird. It definitely looks different now. Looking at, I think I was looking at 60 seconds there, wasn't I? There's one red bar. Waiting for a second to print before I sell. Notice that a $200 loss today is 5 MNQs. I'll pull my spreadsheet over. Once I get in the trade, I'll pull the spreadsheet over. So 5 micros today. Oops. Wrong thing. Let's see, here's my, whoops, here's my spreadsheet. Right here is what, oh, there it is, sell.
Order filled.
I'll try not to move the break even on this trade. I want this target right here to get hit before I do anything. So we got a 1P target here, and this is a 3R stop on the trade. So 2 bars print. I believe this should happen before that, obviously. And then you can see my 3. So this is 1P movement, which today works out to be, where's my spreadsheet? 42 ticks, I believe, is what we're, either 41 or 42. Forget what I put in. Should have rounded up to 42, but I might have put 41. Sometimes I round down. And then you have a 3R stop. I know I used 84 as a stop, so we've got 79, 84, and 89 ticks on those three up there. I'm going to play in the sim for a while. So I don't like to move to break even until at least the first target is hit. So you can see that this is roughly the losses on 500. A 5 contract shows a $213.20 loss roughly today if it would take out at 3R, which is acceptable for me. If I have 3 losses in a row, then I should stop trading on. So that would be about a $600 something loss. Still believe the market has more potential to go up though. We see 2 green bars before we get stopped. We're going to reverse and go after that pivot point. Yeah, it's definitely going the other way right now. We did have a red bar print on the 5-minute chart though at 11 a.m. So I was good with the trade. All right, I'm gonna close
Order
out.
filled.
Took a $176 loss on that trade. So 3R was roughly right up here. I think we're going to move up towards the pivot. So we're going to make a move up to here for the next swing high. In fact, I feel so confident in it, we're going to go
Order
after it
filled.
right now. What the hell? Let's use the signal, the GAN signal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Brings it up to here. course, it's going to go the exact opposite, right? Such is life in trading. Normally you get 3 swing highs and then a move that goes back. That's what I'm playing for. I'm playing for one more time to test up. Just happens so many times. One more test going up. And I believe the pivot point is such a huge mark right now that just to get close to it. So according to Apex rules, you can have 1 negative buy-in. So if it comes down to the lows down here, we'll add contracts and it'll keep the same stops. Basically what I'm saying is I believe this will hold. So where that was right there, that's what we're going to go for. That bar right there. And then for the last one, looking about there. That was the 940s, right? I still believe we're going to test the lows again. But I think that we can get to the pivot before that all happens. Although if we form two red bars again, market's definitely, I don't know, definite is a hard word. No definites in trading.
Stop fit. Order filled. Order filled.
I never did form a red bar. Close.
Order filled. Order filled.
I like the goof in sim. Alright, so what's going on here? We have the long signal from here. I believe the market can get back up to here. Wow, just proving me wrong every which way I'm going. Alright, so what? I'm not following my trade, not doing anything correctly. Geez, I really believe we're going to hold this line until we go up again. This is the wrong thing to do, but since I'm in sim, I'm going to goof. So I want. I believe. I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky going the other way, right?
Order filled. Order filled.
And this is how I blow an account, by the way. That's why I like to trade in sim when I want to goof, because it's hard to be disciplined 24/7. So when you feel the urge to be undisciplined, get into sim. Look at that fucker. And get rid of all the drawing tools because it makes no sense. All that means nothing, right? All right. Well, here we go again.
Order filled. Order filled.
Oh, it's nice to have unlimited money. Was there even a signal in there? We'll look after the fact. I'm caught in a trading range, right? This is what I've been working to overcome, by the way. Being inside of a trading range. So you can see that a trading range gets defined, and this is where I lose most of my money, by the way. Inside a congestion area trading range. So this area right in here is where, I mean, it's ideally you want to trade into moves that make more sense, right? For instance, this move's hard to catch, but this move is not. Look how the highway's pointing straight down. For instance, so waiting for something to form, right? But this move is hard to catch. But this move is easier to catch. So what am I saying? Elliott wave, right? So when I get in doubt and I think to myself, what the fuck am I doing? I go back and I think, well, what's the wave count looking right now inside the day trade? If this is the 0 point, it's hard to catch a 0 point, by the way, and you never know how high the market's going to go. What's easier to catch is this is the 1 point and this is the 2 point. Right underneath here is the point to catch the move until the 012 forms on the other side. By the way, look how close that got to hitting that. I mean, really, the market should get back up to here, so we'll go after that. And then you have the 0 point here, the 1 and the 2, and then this move. So this is the easier move to catch, is the swing. If you can wait for those, in other words, that move right now that we're in, that's the move that we're in right now. So now we have a 3 point established, a 4 point right here. So the 5 point should come in up here, maybe at the pivot. Alright, so let's play with this. So I really believe it's going to go up there. I believe I can fly. I can believe I can touch the sky. On the other side of this technical pattern, we have a head and shoulders. Here's the shoulder over here, there's the head, here's the shoulder. Continued down move. Yep, we're going to go for it.
Order filled. Order filled.
So we're going to play the head and shoulder pattern now. Be wrong all over the place. Obviously I'm in sim, so I don't give a shit, but I'm just goofing right now. We're inside this trading range. Now we're gonna go the other fucking way. Oh. One way is going to be right? You have unlimited money, just keep going until you get out of your hole. Of course, I blew I would never do this, by the way, in an Apex account. Five-minute chart has not shown any red bars. Which way is it going to go? So there was a green signal right there. Red signal never formed. This is the only short side trade right there off that high that didn't go. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. The easier trades to take were the ones I talked about. This move coming down and then this move going up. This is when I quit trading, by the way, today. I caught this move down and that move up, and now it's to the point where I don't know what the hell it's going to do. I guess we put the bottom in. All right, so what are we going to do? We're going to close everything out.
Order filled.
All right, and I want to move to 9 trades profit. I want to edit this. 531. My next trade, I want to make up my money. You have unlimited funds, you can just pretty much go after it, right? At some point you're going to get back to break even because you can martingale your sim account to hell. Where's my spreadsheet? I need to switch this around. Can't find it. There it is. So I want to have 84 at the middle. I want this to be 79 and that to be 89. This should be 42. This one should be 125. And this amount is 250 today. Alright, so our next trade in sim, I'll try to make my loss back. I'll be smart now though. So we have a long signal right here again. Let's go for it.
Order filled. Order filled.
We want to go back to the pivot.
Order filled.
All right, now we're at 207 contracts. This was the bar I think we can get back to. If I remember correctly, that was the Fibonacci retracement that I was looking at. Yeah, 50% retracement.
Target filled.
And we got back to even. Unlimited fun, so much fun to play. But you got to be smart, right? So let's think about this for a second. What do we have? If this is the 0 point, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 to 5, that was the play. I like the, if I'm taking a trade on, there was no other side to this, right? At 0, 1, 2, 3 down here to 4. Oh, excuse me, 0, 1, 2, 3 coming down here. 4, 5 was a double bottom. It switches over at that point. This becomes a 0 point, 0, 1, 2. In other words, we didn't make lower lows, right? And then from this move, here's the trade area, basically. The best trade to take, in my humble opinion, is finding the 3 to 4. Joe Ross talks about a concept called TTR. Can't remember what it is. Trader's Trick Entry, I think it. TTE? TTE, Trader's Trick Entry. The buy point is right here. And you take on this move. And then you have the 4, 1, 2, and then you have the move. Now I've moved all the way back to pivot. It's easy to look at the market in hindsight though, right? Hindsight, as I like to say, you're always a winner in hindsight.
Order filled.
See if we can move above the pivot strongly. Get back to here.
Stop filled.
So once you find a move, it's easy. It's this area. This is my biggest weakness in the past. And this is why I put range bars on, because there's less entries on the range bars. But you still need to find your points of trading. You can't just haphazardly go after everything. I'm smart, this is the reversal point right here. Original point, since I'm playing.
Order filled.
Let's play.
Order filled. Order filled.
So what we got here is the Gann fourth time through that I've been looking for all morning. So we've got this move here. And then we're going to break. Gann says once you've got 3 ups, and our target basically is down here. X marks the spot, so roughly right down here is our target area.
Target filled.
So once you find what you want to do, so I'm a good trader until I'm not. So if you stick to, in this case, 5 contracts, 5 contracts, 5 contracts, you stay out of trading ranges, you find your wave patterns, you can pretty much stay in profit, or at least minimize your losses to a great degree. So like I said, the trades that I was able to grab, I should have grabbed, is this move coming down and then this move from here going up. And then now we've got our Gann signal, and our Gann signal is based upon this being the primary trend of the day. So our primary trend of the day is this way, down. Think of this as an ABC correction, in other words. You have your 0 here through 5, and then your ABC correction coming in this way. And ideally, so we want one of our targets to be right on top of this area right there. Actually, we want to be a little bit higher on the fat of those bars. And we want our secondary target to be on this area right in here. Bottom of the trend that we were in. The last congestion area. And let's see how it works out. Notice that we're already at break even on what was remaining. So if we're wrong, we're wrong. And if it goes up, takes us out, and then does it, so be it. No, that's just the way the cookie crumbles, in other words.
Stop filled.
So we could possibly move higher than this. And then the Gann signal is invalid. which can happen, right? Just because something shows on the charts doesn't mean it'll happen. We could keep stair stepping up too. We could keep stair stepping up to here. We could stair step up to here. But have a plan of attack, right? That's my biggest point of trading, is know your plan of attack. I like trading inside ranges, especially when you have these kind of moves. We have our 50% bar, right? And we've been toying around at 50% retracement level. Even the 50% retracement, we still had a signal there that we could take a short and make 1p profit. Most likely what's going to happen now is there'll be congestion since it's 11:30. And probably have a congestion area. Maybe a lot of times what you'll see in the market, what it'll do, it'll head fake, right? Head fake one way, actually, so it head fakes one way and then it shows its true move after that. So we haven't officially had a signal on the GAN move. So if we're looking at range bars, we haven't had 2 range bars down yet. I like to clean up my charts. The only thing I'd have on my chart, to be honest, would be this. And maybe one other thing. And the other thing would be an extension based on this. And I would use that bar and this bar. And this is where the market could possibly retrace back to. Gets above this, but we're inside a range, right? If we go back and look, this whole move is inside a range on the day charts. If I would make this a day chart, can't see anything because there's too much there. We'll show everything. 60 minute. So yeah, we're trading inside a range right here. And this, see all the sim trades I've been making lately. I think that's going to do it for me today, though. I'm going to stop this live stream. Look and see if I have any comments to take. Too much information. These are tough trading days. I mean, it's not known which way the market wants to go. You can say it moved back to the 50% retracement off of this range. That's what we can say about today. Which way it goes from this point, who knows? Ideally, you'll have a move back down into here. All that being said, trade what you see, not what you think. That's what I learned from Joe Ross back a long time ago. Trade what you see, not what you think. Harder, easier said than done, though. Still got to be a thinker. Got to have an overall plan when you're hitting the markets, in my humble opinion. NQ is a very neat market to trade, though. Still would like to see 2 red bars print and then head back down. But 1, 2, 3, 4. We're at 5 right now. Look at this move from yesterday. That was an insane move right there. 904 high at 1004. Back down just as hard. 1119. I think that's held. So this right here. Now this one actually didn't hold. What's held is this move back here. 22,841. So we made the Fibonacci extension on, here's the 0 point, and our perceived 1, 2, 3, 4 point. So we made the extension off the 4.5, and the extension being that it can get a little bit higher from 4. So it's like, think about this. This is 5 for up here. Then we have to have a 6 point and then 7 going up. That's possibly where the market could head up to, an extension related. This is kind of tough ground up here to be trading longs, though, without a correction, because we're already above. We're at the 5 point. So the best trades to take on, in my humble opinion, Elliott wave related. There's 2 of them, if you can see them. It's the move right here, and if you can see it, and then it's this move right here, and you would hopefully be in long from this point. Like we had a long in this area that we were able to catch at one point. A lot easier to see it. in hindsight. So I knew what I wanted in the market to happen. I wasn't patient enough to allow it to form though. Talked about this right here, right here, and we finally got our third point up. It's still making highs right now though. Eventually, what I'd like to see in the day with proof, would need two red range bars and heading back down to this area. And that would be your GAN signal. Say 1, 2, 3, and then you have your fourth time through. And your target, obviously you have 3 targets on the way down. But this would be your one of your targets would be down here. Could possibly get, how low could we go though? We could possibly go as low as halfway in between S1 and S2. So this could be a profit target down here as well. So halfway between S1 and S2. So the market could possibly come down as low as down here. So you could possibly set up, you'd have your break-even target, right? You'd have your secondary target here, and you'd have your long-range target, or your hair target down here. Possibly going, now if it gets above this level here, the GAN signal's off. So if it closes above this area here, all of this is moot. There's no plan to it. That's why you have the extension on here to know where your ouch point would be on any trade, and this is based upon this range here, right? We've already formed that the market is more apt to go down than up. This right here is a trigger point right in that area that we don't know which way it's going to go. It could go up or down above that level. That's why it's on there. That's why your extension is on inside a retracement. Meaning it's got to close above it though. So it gets above here, like gets up here. In this case, we have our extension here, it gets up here to 76.4%. Your guess is as good as mine which way the market goes at that point. Actually, the market is going to do what the market's going to do, and it always does. Our best guess is our calculated risk anyway. So try to catch the 2 to 3 and the 4 to 5. That's where your best trades will come in. And actually, we're still in the 4 to 5, by the way. All right, that's going to do it. I'm going to wrap it up. All right, that's all. That's all the the information I won't feel like sharing today. Let's find my OBS and end the stream.